Blending is combining the data from two different data sources. So blending is combining the data from two different data sources. It is not joining. I'm stressing on that word combining. It is not joining. So joining is between two tables in the same source. Okay, in the same source. But when it comes to blending, it is between two different sources. Okay, so that's the point here. Now, 1 second. One second. Whereas blending, it is between two different data sources, right? So one is SQL Server, other one is Teradata, one is Oracle, other one is DB2. For all such kind of right different data sources, you want to pull the data from both the sources, right? Okay, 1 second. My turn came up. So just give me a minute, guys. Sorry. So 1 second. So blending is combining data from two different data sources, whereas joining is between two tables in the same source. Between two tables in the same source is joining, whereas blending is between two different data sources. So generally, you cannot pull data from two different sources into a single output. That is, you cannot pull Oracle and SQL Server tables data into one single output. You cannot do that generally. So that's not possible. But we can do it. So there are some lot of restrictions and conditions for doing it. But in Tableau, without going through anything complex, so we can do that very easily. So that's what we are talking about now, that is blending. So using blending concept, you can combine data from two different or more than two different data sources in a single output. So whenever I'm talking about blending, I'm saying combining data, not joining. Okay, remember that. Okay, I'll show you exactly what is the difference between joining and blending, right, with various scenarios now. Anyway, here, right, you are seeing one data source here, that is orders sample superstore you are seeing. Let me tell you, you really need not look here and there for data sources. Tableau itself is providing you various data sources. You can download from Tableau website or from any other websites. Okay, so it's all about searching in the internet. So that's all it is. So I'm connecting to one more data source here. So that's what I'm going to do here. So one more data source here. So I'm going here, right? And so I'll connect to another data source, not Excel. So maybe I'll connect to Access, right? This one. So I downloaded that from internet itself. I didn't prepare it. You can also do it. If you search in the internet, that is Google especially, sample coffee chain, you will get it. Okay. No surprise. Okay. So I'm using the same sources. I'm not using any personal or anything which I create such kind of things. Understanding concept is more important than write all this nonsense. Okay. Now I have two data sources. One is coffee chain and other one is right orders sample superstore. So order sample superstore is here and other one is coffee chain. Now, so you have two different data sources here. Okay. Now here, right? So you are seeing two different data sources. Before moving ahead, right? Joining or blending will happen only on dimensions, that is discrete fields. Joining or blending will not happen on measures, that is continuous fields especially. It will not happen on continuous fields. Be aware of it. So it will not happen on continuous fields there. So here, right, it will not happen on these fields measures. So it will happen only on dimensions. Okay. So here dimensions are. Now, so here the fields are. Please go through that. And for some time, you need to follow where my mouse is. Right. So now I have selected coffee chain. In coffee chain, these are all the dimensions, discrete fields. It's exactly speaking. Right. So you can see area code, date, market, market size, product. So product types, all those things are there. Okay. So state, type, so all those things are there. Next, coming back to orders, sample superstore. Okay, you remember the fields, right? Area code, date, market, market size, product, state, type. Okay, state. Okay, remember state. Here, so category, city, right? So customer name, so postal code, so all these things are there. Region, row ID, segment, ship mode, right? State subcategory. State is the only field which has the same name. Okay, I'm talking about name there. So here, right, the point is, right, so now, so state is the only field which has the same name. I'm talking about only name at this point of time. Okay, now let's go to state in superstore or orders. Remember that properly. Okay, orders in superstore. I'm going to state, right clicking on it. Okay, so right clicking on it and going to aliases. Here you see, right, aliases are there here. So you can see different names here, state names. You should remember the data, you should observe the data, because joining or blending both will happen based on data. So if you want to understand how it works in the background, so you have to understand how the data is. So you see here, the states are starting with Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, like that, and California also, all these things. With the C, 3 states are there. With A, 3 states are there. D, 2 states are there. Okay. Now F, 1 state is there. G, 1 state is there. I, how many states are there? 4. Right. I, K, 2 states are there. Okay. And L, only 1 state is there. Okay. M, how many are there? 3, 6, 8 are there. Okay. Remember that. So N again almost 8 are there. So maybe, right, 8. Yeah, 8 only. Next is O is there. Ohio, Oklahoma, right? 3 are there. P, only 1 is there. R, only 1 is there. S, 2 are there. T, 2 are there. U, 1 is there. V, 2 are there. Okay. V2 are there. W4 are there. Right. W4 are there. Okay. Remember that. So W4 are there. V2 are there. So remember that overall 52 states are there. You are all from US. You know that clearly. Right. Now I'll go to coffee chain. I'll go click here. Right click. Click on aliases. Now you see. So what are the states? See that first starting itself, all A states gone. 3 states totally gone. All A states totally gone, right? Only C states are there. So C, 3 states are there, right? C, 3 states are there. F, right? I, only 2 are there. So here, what is missing? G is missing. D is missing. Delaware, right? So with the D, 2 states, I think should be there. So that is missing. F, right? G is missing. I, only 2 are there, right? Therefore, I think, right? You are following, right? So L, M, how many are there? Only 2 are there. There 8 were there. Here N, how many are there? 4 are there. But there only 8, there 8 were there. Right? Here only 4 are there. Next, Ohio. So if you see, 2 are there. 3 are there. All 3 are there. Okay. T, P is missing. R is missing. Right? P is missing, R is missing, U. Okay, so P is not there, R is not there, V is not there, U only one is there, right? W two are there. Okay, so W two are there. What does that mean? The number of states are less in, right, coffee chain. The number of states are less in coffee chain. Got it? So the number of states are less in coffee chain. Got it? So that is how it is. One second, guys. So, as you clearly observed here, the number of states are less in coffee chain compared to superstore. That is understood? Okay. Shall I proceed? So remember that. That means the number of states is less in coffee chain. What does that mean? Is that data is less in coffee chain. Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay. So now I'll proceed. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll go there straight away and just double click on the fields and add it. Okay, so I'm double clicking it. Okay, right, so here there is a blue color icon. Okay, so there is a blue color icon. So whatever, one second guys, I need to update this. Right, as you saw clearly, the number of states are less here, right, compared to other orders, right? So compared to orders or superstore, the number of states is less in coffee chain. Whatever field I click on first here, that will become the primary data source. As you see there, it is a blue tick mark there, right? So as you see there clearly, it is a blue tick mark that shows it is a primary data source. Okay, so you see a blue tick mark there, that means it is a primary data source. So that shows that whatever field you click on first, that will become the primary. Okay, remember that. I just double clicked on the sales. I'll go to orders. Okay, and here you are seeing a chain icon there. So the chain icon means that this is the only common field between these two sources, and blending will happen between those two things. Okay, so blending will happen on that field itself by default. That's what it means. So blending by default will happen on that field by default. In Tableau, one small, right, so a wrong thing in Tableau is blending will happen by default if the same name is there, that is spelling is same. That's all. It will not check for data, it will not do anything. So you see here state is there, right? So I'll show you practically. I'll go here, you see edit relationships. So I didn't do anything. I can even remove this also, no problem. So I can even remove that. Now nothing is there. You see that no chain icon, nothing, but still you see. So only if the field name is same, blending will happen by default. Okay, only if the field name is same, blending will happen by default. Okay, that you should remember. So you can see state. So blending will happen by default only if the field name is same. To prove that, what I'll do is I'll change this spelling. Okay, so you saw the data also, right? So you saw the data also, but now you see I changed the name to stat. So here if you see, right, it is state, but there it is stat here. So I'll go there, right? I'll go there, edit relationship. Now you see there is nothing there, right? No relationship. Okay, got it? So that is how it is. So relationship will happen by default only if the field name is same. Okay, field name is same. If the field name is different, it will not happen. So that's how it is. So again, I'm doing a control set. So again, you see here, right? By default, you'll see the relationship. So that's how it is. That's a very bad thing actually, because if I change this, for example, if I change this date, name to state, automatically you will see a blending icon there, which is totally wrong. So but still that's how it is. Okay, that's how blending will happen. Why all that I'll show you now. So I'm clicking here, so there is a chain icon here. That means that blending will happen on this field. Okay, so blending will happen on this field here. So here it is. So here you're seeing the state field. So you're seeing state and sales here. Okay, so here, right, so this is the data. I just swapped it, I mean that's all it is. So you are seeing the data. Leave about bars. Okay, leave about bars, it is about sales. Okay, sales, I mean I told you, right, blending will not happen with respect to measures or anything. It will happen with respect to dimensions only, right? Observe this data. Observe this data. Again, I'll go to another sheet. This time I'll double click on this sales here, orders. Okay, you are seeing a blue tick mark here. Now this time this is the primary data source. In the earlier sheet, this is primary data source and this is secondary data source. But now if you see, this is primary data source. Okay, blue tick mark. So this is primary data source. What will I do? I'll go to coffee chain and pull on that state. Now you see the chain icon will turn into orange color, proving that blending will happen on this field. Okay, so proving that blending will happen on this field. So that is how it is. Okay, now so blending will happen on this field. So that's what it means. Okay, now again you see the data here, right? So you see the data. This is the data. Observe very closely. So this is the output I got. So what is the difference you are seeing between this output, that is first sheet, and this output? What is the difference you are seeing between these two outputs? So any of you? So what is the difference between these two outputs? So if you see here null is there, right? Here null is there. Why we got null there? Anybody? Why we got null there? There. Okay.
No, no idea.
Okay. As I showed you at the starting, right? There are more states in Superstore. When I double clicked on that sales data, I got all the sales from orders Superstore. But from coffee chain, I pulled in state. But the number of states are less in coffee chain. Correct? The number of states are less in coffee chain. Correct? So, since the number of states are less in coffee chain, okay, so since the number of states are less in coffee chain, so you clearly see that, right, for those sales values for which data is there in orders, since those values doesn't have states, that's why it is showing null value. That is why it is showing null value, because non-matching data is showing null value. What is left outer join? What is left outer join? What is left outer join? Deepthi, Madan. What is left outer join? Left outer join is from left side table you will get all the data. From right side you will get only the matching data. From left side you will get all the data. From right side you will get the matching data. From left side, that is primary data source, I got all the sales values. From right side, that is from secondary data source, I got only the matching data. Non-matching data is showing null value. So the output of blending by default is the same as left outer join output. The output of blending is same as left outer join output. So that is most important.
Okay, I have a doubt here.
Go ahead.
See, this is left outer join you're telling, okay?
No.
It says actually,
Wait. Blending is not join in any case. Blending is
Yeah, I
not at all
understood
join.
that actually. But
Okay.
one thing is like if
Huh.
the see in orders we have up to 52 states actually, and in coffee chain we are having less, so that is blended. But all the remaining states which is not there in the coffee has become one as null. There should be so many null no in that case.
I'm doing aggregation here, right? I'm doing aggregation here, right? So all the values are summed up together, right? Summed up with respect to states. That is null value. Got it?
Okay, so all the null values are
Hmm.
summed up. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, you wait for some time, you will get more clarity. I'll show you that practically how it is summed up. Okay. Now, so here, right, by default, the output of blending is same as left outer join output. But blending is not joining. Blending is not joining. Okay. Joining is totally different concept. Blending is totally different concept. I'm talking about only the similarities. Okay. So the output of blending is same as left outer join output only conceptually. Okay. Don't try to compare straight away and say this is no, it's not that way. Okay. So blending is different, joining is different, but the output of blending is by default same as left outer join output. Now, what is the basic difference between a left outer join output and a inner join output? Left outer join output and a inner join output.
Left outer join will take all the datas only from the
Left side
table
table.
which is select. Okay, and
Hmm.
next one you're asking is inner join,
Inner
right?
join.
Inner join is common between both.
Okay. So why only Vahita is speaking? Why not Deepthi or Madan? Anybody? So you're able to hear there? You guys are there? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. So if you know, right, no problem, you can speak out. Okay, I'll try to correct it if anything is wrong. So here, the point is, of course, if you don't have anything to speak, you can keep on mute, no problem. So that's how it is. Now, so the major difference between left order join output and inner join output, as Vaita said, in left order join, non-matching data will show null values. Non-matching data will show null values. Whereas in inner join, right, in inner join, non-matching data will not at all be pulled out. Only matching data will be pulled out. Okay, in left outer join, non-matching data will show null values like this. But inner join, it will not at all pull non-matching data. It will pull only the matching data between two tables. Okay, it will pull only the matching data between two tables. That is how it is. Okay, so what is the basic difference between left outer join output and inner join output is inner join will not have null values. If you just remove the null values which is not matching, right, non-matching data, it will become a inner join output. Now can I achieve a right outer join output here? Can I achieve a right outer join output here? Yes or no?
Yeah, it should be the same, right?
Ah. So yes, we can achieve a right outer join output because A
Like
left
this.
outer join B is same as B right outer join A. If you just interchange the data sources, that's all it is, right? So if you just interchange the data sources, that's all it is. A left outer join B is the same as B right outer join A. As simple as that, right? So as simple as that, A left outer join B is the same as B right outer join A. So that is how it is. So we can achieve a right outer join. Until now, what am I doing here? Right? I am clicking on only one field, that is state. What about other fields? What they have done? Right? For example, let's say I'll click on sales here. I'll go to coffee chain. Why am I not clicking on any other field here apart from state? Right? Right, we have product, we have product type, we have market, so various things are there. I'll click on one of them. What will happen? So there is no chain icon here. That clearly shows that this field is not a blended field. That is not a common field. So not a blended. Always remember, blending by default will happen on that field which has the same name. Same name. Okay, which I showed you practically at the start. So remember that. Now there is nothing called as market in orders or superstore. That's why you are not seeing a chain icon there. So if I click on such a field, what will happen? So what it is saying is non-blended fields will show asterisk like this. So you are seeing asterisk there. So non-blended fields will show asterisk there. So does market have the data or not? Let's see. Let's go to alliances. So I'm clicking on alliances. Yes, it has the data. Central, east, south, west. It is exactly same as region here, right? It is exactly same as region here. In region also, from first class we are seeing, right? Same data is there. Central, east, south, west, right? That is how it is. So in region also you have the same data. In market also you have the same data, but blending is not happening. Got it? So that is how it is. So blending is not happening. Got it? So that is how it is. So blending is not happening. Okay. So even though the data is same, blending is not happening. So remember that. Observe that. So blending by default will happen only on that field. That's why I told you it is totally wrong. Actually, it should happen based on the data, not on the names. But that's how blending is. Okay. Now, so data is same, but we are not able to show the data. How can we correct this? Very easy, very simple. Directly go here. Edit relationship is there. Here, instead of clicking on automatic, click on custom. Okay, you click on custom. Now I'll click on add here. Very simple, very simple. Just to select two fields. One is region and other one is market. One is region and other one is market. Just to select a single select. That's all. You need not do anything. Now here, right, you can do a lot of mistakes here, or you can wantedly do it wrongly. That is, for example, right, I have region here. I did not select market code. I can select product. I can select product also. So like this, I can do anything. Okay. So yeah, yes. Any questions, doubts? Somebody unmuted. Okay. So if you don't have any questions or doubts, please mute yourself. So here region is there and here product is there. So I can click on product. I can click on state. I can click on anything, which will be totally wrong way of blending. So you yourself has to do it correctly. Nobody can correct that. So as long as the data type matches, it will take any field. It will not look for data. So that is one big problem with blending. So you have to be careful. So you have to select those fields which has the same data. So that is central, east, south, west, like that. Okay. So click on like that. Got it? Now I'm clicking OK. Now you see immediately you are seeing the data. And here you see you are seeing a orange color chain icon. That means blending happened on that field. So like this, by using custom also, you can blend between two fields which has the same data even though the name is not same. Okay, so that is how it is. So here you are seeing the data, market data. Now I blended on this field. Can I drag and drop product and see the data? No, you cannot. You cannot. So you cannot see the data for product because it is not a blended field. Always keep that in mind. You can blend 10 fields, but on the 11th field, if it is not blended, you will not see the data. For secondary data source, blending is mandatory. For secondary data source, blending is mandatory. Without blending, you cannot get the data. But for primary data source, there is nothing called as blending. For primary data source, there is nothing called as blending. Primary, you can directly pull in and show the data. No blending, nothing. Blending is only for primary data source. Okay, so blending is only for primary data source, not for secondary data source. Remember that. Okay, so blending is only for secondary data source, not for primary data source. From primary data source, you can see the data of any field like this. See, all this while I am talking about only dimensions. Okay, discrete fields. I am not talking about any other field. Okay, so there is nothing called as blending, joining for anything for right measures. Okay, so I'm talking about dimensions or discrete fields. Only for those fields you are seeing the data here. Got it? So that is how it is. So remember that. So only for those fields you are seeing the data here. Got it? So that is how it is. So that's the point here. Okay, only for secondary data source blending is needed, important, but not for primary data source. Primary data source you can pull in any field like this and you can show the data, no problem. Now if you want to pull in segment, yes, you can also do that, right? So that is not at all a problem. But from secondary data source you cannot pull, right, a non-blended field. It will always show asterisk only like this. You cannot see the data on non-blended field. Okay, now you tell me, can we achieve a full outer join? What is a full outer join, and can we achieve a full outer join? Can we achieve a full outer join? Yeah, so here coming back to again. So what is full outer join? Can we achieve a full outer join? Until now I talked about left outer join, right outer join, inner join. Now if at all you want full outer join, how can you do that? So full outer join means pulling all the data from both the sources, right? Pulling all the data from both the sources. So pulling all the data from both the sources, that is how it is. Now, so pulling all data from both the sources, yes, that is okay, you can do it. So that is full outer join, right? Non-matching data will show null values, matching data will show data, right? But you cannot achieve full outer join by using blending. Why? Because instead of, right, non-matching data means it should show null values, but it is showing asterisk here, no data at all. But product has data. Product has data. It is not that it doesn't have the data. It has the data, but it is not showing the data. Why? Because non-blended field. So you cannot achieve a full outer join by using blending. Got it? So these are some important points which you should remember for interviews. I'm talking about interviews all this time. Okay. See, developing of charts using blending, you can do it straight away. For example, I'm clicking on state here. So I want to develop the map here, symbol map or field map, anything like that. Right. So this one I want to do it. No problem. You can do it. Who is stopping you? Nobody. Right. So it is map. So you need to format it a bit, of course. Right. Or you can do it this way also, right? You from right orders itself, you can click on state like this and go to coffee chain and click on sales or profit, anything like that, right? So you are getting the charts, not only this chart, right? You can go for packed bubble, or you can go for tree map, or you can go for so anything like that. Developing of charts is same, right? I mean, whatever we have seen in the charts is the same thing. So there is nothing much different here, right? You need not do anything, right? So you can go there and develop the charts now. So that's not the point here. Okay, so anybody can do. On blending also it is the same way of developing the charts. But these are the points which you should observe. In real time, nobody might ask you. So if you just understand the concept, that's enough. So if you just understand, that's enough. But in interviews, they might ask you. So you can achieve left outer join, right outer join, inner join, but not full outer join. And blending will always happen at aggregate level only. So blending will always happen at aggregate level only. It will not happen at detail level. So Vaida, you asked, right? So now I'll show you. So blending, right, it will always happen at aggregate level only. It will not happen at detail level. What does that mean? What does that mean? For example, how blending will happen is, blending, right? So whenever you go for blending, what will happen is, the moment you click on the field, I told you blue tick mark will come and later on orange tick mark will come. It shows that which one is primary, which one is secondary data source. Whenever the moment
One minute, RK. Here I have a doubt, but how do you toggle between the primary data source and the secondary data source?
I didn't toggle directly whatever
No,
field
I'm asking you, is there a possibility?
Yeah, it is very simple, right? In the first sheet, it is primary data source is coffee chain, secondary data source is superstore. In the second one, which one is primary? Orders is the primary, coffee chain is secondary.
Yes.
So whatever field you click on first, that will become the primary data source in that sheet.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how it is. Whatever field you click on first, that is primary. Here primary, what is primary? Order superstore is there. Now I'll go to sheet 4. First I'll click on coffee chain field. What will become? Coffee chain will become the primary data source. See that? Got it? So whatever field you click on first, that is the primary data source. Okay, remaining is secondary data source. Okay, got it? So that's how it is. Clear? Now coming back to the point. So blending will always happen at aggregate level. What exactly happens is, the moment you double click on the field, or you add the field, at that point of time, right, it will pull the data from secondary data source and it will combine and show. That's all. Before, right, you add the field to the chart, these two data sources will not at all interact with each other. They don't know each other at all. The moment you click on that field, right, at that point of time, it will just combine the data and show that to you. That's all in the chart. So before that, nothing will happen, right? In Tableau, the combination of data is happening. It is not happening in any data source. That's why, right, only in Tableau you can do blending. You cannot pull a table from SQL Server to Oracle, or you cannot pull a table from Teradata to Oracle, such kind of things. Not possible, because those technologies, tools will not allow you to do that. But Tableau will allow you to do that because it's a third party. So it will combine the data in Tableau the moment you click on the chart. So what is happening at that moment to combine the data? What will happen is, it will aggregate the data and show you. That's why blending by default will always happen at aggregate level only. Okay, how can we see that practically? So here you are seeing the, right, so some data. So I blended here, right? One is primary data source, another one is secondary data source. You are seeing some numbers: 501, 678, 725, 391. Okay, remember the numbers. I'll go to sheet 4. Now I will not blend. I will not blend, right? So here you see. So I will not blend. You are seeing region wise sales here. Same numbers: 501, 678, 725, 391. And here also, right? 501, 600, right? Same chart, no change. Now I'll go to sheet 4 again, where blending is not done. Right? Blending is not done here. I'll go here, analysis, and I'll remove the aggregation. Okay, I'm removing it. By default, aggregate measures will be selected. That's why you will always see sum of sales only. See, if you want to change the aggregation, you have to right click on that field, and here in default properties, right, aggregation will be there. So you see here. Remember this, why we are getting always sum of sales there? Why? Because in default properties, here you are seeing aggregation here, and here you are seeing some average counts, all those things are there. Right? So that is how it is. So here you are seeing some average count, right? So all those things are you are seeing. That is how it is. So because it is selected by default, that's why you are seeing aggregation. And here also aggregation is selected, aggregate measures is selected, that's why you are seeing some always. So now you see, you are seeing detailed values. Each and every individual value you are seeing, you see here, right? 17,000, right? 9,000, 8,000. So these many values are there, right? Hundreds of values are there. So you see here also, even 2 is there, 0 is also there. Here also 1 is there, 1 is the minimum. Here 1 is there, here 20, sorry, 1 is there. So like that, these many detailed values are there. Since blending is not done, you are seeing this detail. You see here, I'll go to other chart and I'll remove blending here. Okay, so I'll remove aggregation here. You observe that. Okay, what happened? Nothing happened. It is still aggregated only. You see that sum of sales become sales, but its system is cheating us. It didn't remove the aggregation. It just changed the mark type. It changed the mark type. You are seeing the same numbers you see. 501, 678, 725, 391. Only one value, aggregate value. So by default, blending will happen only at aggregate level. It will not happen at detail level. Okay. So by default, blending will happen only at aggregate level. It will not happen at detail level. So always remember that. Okay. So it will not happen at detail level. It will happen only at aggregate level. So that is how it is. So remember that. Okay. So that's how it is. Here only mark type changed. Sum of sales becomes sales, but still you are seeing the aggregate value only. Okay. I'll go here. I'll click on bar. Okay, so like that it is. Good, clear. So shall we proceed? So that's how it is. Next, to show you another example how aggregation will affect, I'll write a calculation. Okay, so I'll go there and I'll write calculation. Let's say I'll say create calculate field. Here you are seeing profit only profit you are seeing. Okay, and you are seeing from orders that one. I'll go to coffee chain. I'll pull in sales here. Okay, I'll pull in sales here. Now what you are seeing aggregation here. Sum of, right? So sum of coffee chain query, right? Coffee chain sales, like that. So profit divided by sales. You see that the moment I pull in sales, you are seeing a sum before that. Aggregation happened. Aggregation happened. So the moment I click on profit, right? And the moment, so you see here, I drag and drop sales, aggregation happened by default. Even if I remove it, you'll get error. Okay, even if I remove it also, you will get a error. So you see that cannot, so see that all fields must be aggregate or constant when using table calculation functions fields from multiple data sources. Got it? So that is how it is. So all fields must be aggregate or constant when using table calculation functions or fields from multiple data sources. That is how it is. So from multiple data sources, so that is how it is. Got it? So that's how it is. Blending will always happen at aggregate level only. Okay, it will not happen at detail level. So I'll go there and I'll apply aggregation now. So now you see calculation is valid. Got it? So that's how it is. So blending will always happen at aggregate level only. It will not happen at detail level. Got it? So blending will always happen at aggregate level only. It will not happen at detail level. Got it? So that is how it is. Clear? Okay. So remember that. Now next thing, one more thing. Until 9 version, you can do blending only at the sheet level. But from 10 version onwards, you can do blending right here itself in the data source window itself. So here you are seeing sample coffee chain, for example. Now you can click on add and add one more data source here itself. So you can click on add and add one more data source here itself. You need not go to the sheet and do all those things. You will not. So you see that Tableau is immediately suggesting go for an extract for better performance. So you should not blend like this actually, which is a very bad way of doing things. So your system might get stuck if there is too much amount of data. So you should not do it actually. But I'm showing you there is an option. Okay. Now if you click on orders or anything, right, what will happen here is just observe. Here you are seeing a join kind of thing, which is not the true. Here the point is blending. Whenever you do a blending between two different data sources, it will always happen at aggregate level and cross join will happen in the background. In the background, only cross join will happen. Okay, so it in the background only cross join will happen, right? It will not inner join. It is not left order join. It is not right order join. Nothing. So in the background, only cross join will happen. What is cross join? If you do a cross join B, if A contains 100 rows and B contains 100 rows, right? Whether you do a inner join or left outer join or right outer join or full outer join also, maximum you should see 100 rows only in the output. Even if you do a full outer join, you will be seeing 100 rows only in the output because both of them contain 100 only. But when it comes here, right? When it comes here in blending, it will do a cross join. Cross join means 100 into 100. 100 into 100. That becomes 10,000 rows. Where is 100 and where is 10,000? Exponential increase. That is how it is. That's why this way of blending, right? This way of blending is totally bad. It will affect the performance to a great extent. So it looks like an inner join or left outer join, whatever it is in the front end, but in the background, it is working as a cross join. So which is a very bad join. You should not do it in real time at all. Never ever do it. If you do a cross join, that means if you don't specify the join, it will automatically take it as cross join. That means you are a very, very bad developer. Okay, don't do it. Okay, so in blending, so it will work as cross join. So that's why don't do blending here. So it will affect the performance to a great extent. Great extent. So don't do that. Okay, so here also you can do blending from 10 version, but don't do it. Okay, so that's how it is. Clear? Clear? Good. So that is how it is. Okay, so from 10 version you can do it here itself, but don't do it, affecting the performance. As much as you can,
So,
you should be able to avoid blending. Yes, tell me, Madan.
yes, so according to you, so we must do the blending on the sheet 1, sheet 2, or sheet 3. So we should
Yes,
not do in the data source, right? It
yes,
go to
that's
the
good.
cross
Yeah,
joining.
yes, performance issues. Okay, good. Okay, good then. So performance issues. So that's why you should not do it. Okay. Okay. So you, as much as you can, you should try to avoid blending in real time. So don't do blending unless and until it is mandatory to do it. So if your client specifies that, yeah, I have one Oracle data source, another one is SQL, so I want to do a blending, such kind of things. Until then, don't do it because it will affect the performance to a great extent. In action filters concept, I'll show you how to avoid blending. Okay. So I'll tell you one way of avoiding blending, how to link multiple data sources without using blending. I'll show you. Okay. So blending is a very good concept, but unfortunately performance will be very less. So that you should keep in mind. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think we are seeing